It's Monday. That means it's time to play your multicades, but also just talk about some arcades and retro gaming and things going on. We got this awesome little event coming up here later this year. I want to kind of give you guys an update on where I'm at with that. I want to talk to you guys about a company coming back, which is really cool. A new pinball pickup. That's right. I picked up another real pinball machine. Also, Arcade1Up, probably the main event for tonight. Arcade1Up, they got these deluxe cabinets coming out. And yeah, these are multicades, in my opinion. They're going to have 14 games on them. So yeah, I don't mind covering them on this particular show. But guess what? They apparently really, really shot themselves in the foot with a marketing campaign that they got going on out there. I want to give you my feedback and impressions on everything that I've seen happen over the last 48 hours. All that and more tonight on Multicade Mondays. All right, my dudes, let's say hi to people who are here in the live chat like we always do. Thanks so much for joining me. My apologies. I know last time I did a Multicade Mondays, you guys voted in the live chat. You guys said you guys want a weekly show. I would love to deliver you a weekly show, but my schedule just hasn't aligned. But we're gonna hang out tonight, catch up with all of you. It's good to spend some one-on-one time, me and the viewers, because usually I'm only able to do like these group shows on like Friday nights. So it's nice to be back here just by myself, hanging out with you guys. Let's see who's here in the live chat. Also, do me a favor, let me know how my audio sounds. Something weird happened with my microphone before I went live. So I don't even know if it's working right now, but no one in the live chat is telling me I'm too loud, too soft, or no audio at all. All right, let's see here. All right, we got no, I can't put the chat on the screen. I'm using StreamYard tonight, buddy. So it's a different streaming service, so I can't put the chat on the screen. Not with this particular streaming service. Sometimes I use OBS, sometimes I use Restream, sometimes I use StreamYard. Tonight I wanted to use StreamYard because it's very simple to set up and just go live. All right, let's see who's here. We got Jasmine is here, Saved by Zero, Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Everyone say hi to Wild Bill in the live chat. Mitchy B is here. Calvin, Jay, Paul, Mike Dalton is here. Love Mike Dalton, the king of iArcade collecting. Mike Dalton, Random One is here. Music Mike, Kevin Clausen, one of my favorites. Raven, good to see you back, my dude. Michael B, Thomas, Thomas comments on every one of my videos. Read all your comments. Love your comments, Thomas. JT's becoming one of my favorite viewers. JT has always been, he's been helping me like with my Atari crap, as well as because my Atari VCS still isn't working, guys. Just a heads up there. But also he's been leaving me great comments on my videos. Jim, the Pacers fan. Oh man, the Bulls, baby. Bobby's Arcade World, Mad Astra Gaming, Carl, we all love Carl. Tomorrow's ghost, Jason M, is here. We love Jason. Galaga Guy 88, looking forward to seeing you this September, which we'll talk about. Cornercade once a weekly show. Gotta love Mondays with PDubs. What defines a multicade? For me, it's like number of games, like 3 games. Like, is that a multicade? Probably not. But like, when these cabinets have like, double digit game lineups, 10 plus games, I think that would be a multicade in my opinion. You guys let me know if you feel different in the live chat. A company coming back must be Amico. God, no. I hope not. I'll never cover the Amico on this channel. I just have no interest in that. Vic Vicious, when will these deluxe cabs be released? When will Arcade1Up release anything new? Well, I mean, Fast and the Furious is leaked. Time Crisis is leaked. Both of those cabinets really haven't officially been announced yet, so those are technically new. So I'm assuming we'll get announcements sometime during this year that those products are coming out. When it comes to deluxe cabs, let's talk about that when we get to Arcade1Up. All signs are pointed to those being up for pre-order imminently, like very, very soon. All right, guys, let's do the housekeeping items as well because we're still waiting for people to join. So let's get the small stuff out of the way. Let me get my screen shared for you guys. Let's get it on here. Let's get this off of here. All right. So if you've been living under a rock, you might not be aware, but the Cleveland Gaming Expo is coming up very, very soon. And some of my good friends who I've met through YouTube, who, they're fellow content creators who I've been lucky enough to collaborate with over the last year, 2 years, some of them even more recently. Whatchamacallit, we all got together. We all went to Chicago last year. We're going to do it again. Some of them have already talked about this, but just want to let you guys know where I'm at with this. So we're going to do it again. The Cleveland Gaming Classic is going to be this September 22nd through the 24th, downtown Cleveland. I will definitely be there. Plane tickets have been purchased, and I believe we're booking an Airbnb again. So I think all the guys are going to stay together again. So it'll be really cool hanging out with Michael B and 19K Fox and Kongs Are Us and Console Kits. And I just found out today that Detroit Love is going to be there. So we're going to be renting like a massive house to fit everybody. So guys, if you guys know I love Carl. Carl was the first guy I collaborated with on YouTube. One of them. So Detroit Love is going to be there. Just found out, and Steven Nostalgia is doing everything he possibly can to make this trip happen. So yeah, Nostalgia's coming as well. He's just got to make sure he's not on any kind of top 10 wanted lists, FBI's most wanted. He's got to make sure like, government's kind of forgotten about him, and then he'll show up in Cleveland, stuff like that. And then Tech Buzz is going to be there. I'm looking forward to seeing Stephen Haywood. Tech Buzz and I have collaborated on a bunch of stuff in the past, but we've never actually met in person. So I'm looking forward to actually meeting him in person for the first time. And I think there's going to be a whole bunch of other content creators and stuff like that. So do me a favor, guys. Let me know in the live chat. Are you going to go to the Cleveland Convention Center? Are you guys going to go to this event in September? I will be arriving Friday morning. I booked a super early flight, and I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be flying home Monday. At least I am. And we got a bunch of barcades and things like that. We're gonna go check out arcades. You guys are always more than welcome to join us there, as well as whatchamacallit, as well as hang out with us at the con. I think the con is pretty much Saturday, right? Like it's a smaller convention, guys. This one's not like one of those monstrous conventions, multi-floor conventions. Like you would like, it's not like the McCormick Place downtown Chicago C2E2. This isn't going to be that massive an event. So honestly, I think we're probably going to be at the con convention all day Saturday, but probably Friday and Sunday we'll be doing all other kinds of things around the city, which you guys will be able to hang out with us. So I encourage you to come out and stop by and say hello. I met a lot of great viewers when I was in Chicago last year, and look forward to doing that again and hanging out with some folks. Let's see here. Scott Lee's only 4 hours away. Hell, buddy, you can drive. You can drive. We're all just going to be there touring. We're not going to have a booth or anything like that. So yeah, we're not going to have a booth. We're just going to be there walking around, interviewing companies, looking at things, being obnoxious, all that kinds of stuff. Will B and C and console kits be driving to Walmart again for a Cubert? That would be funny. That would be funny. If there is a Cubert by September, I don't know if Arcade1Up's going to do it. Raven says it's going to be fun. Charlie Chuck is going to drive nostalgia down. Yep, just hide him in the trunk so he can get across the border. Endless one up, dude. I would love to meet you there in person. I would love to meet you there in person and bring your Steam Deck with you. I would love to bring your Steam Deck with you, the one with the wood grain finish on it. All right, the bad guy Mike is going to be there as well. Charlie Chuck booked his hotel. All right, cool. Lots of great comments in the live chat, guys. I'll go back and read them here when this is all through. Am I buying any Michael B's Arcade1Ups? No, I'm not. He's in Canada, man. I'm all the way here in Arizona. That's not that. Absolutely 360. In Chicago, when we were in Chicago, we had so many people come up to us who joined us at like Yelping Ghost and in other barcades downtown. That we had a blast, dude. So it was great to meet everybody. So yeah, I'm a pretty approachable guy. As long as you're not a jerk to me, I won't be a jerk to you. There you go. Oh, cool. I'm gonna put this on the screen, guys, and then we're gonna move on. You guys inspired the family to take a trip from Pittsburgh to Chicago to check out Galloping Ghost. A week's vacation in August. There you go. You're not going to regret it. Galloping Ghost is incredible. Galloping Ghost is incredible. All right, let's get that off the screen. Now, this is kind of related to multicades and modding. So if you guys haven't heard the news yet, Rec Room Masters is back. So Rec Room Masters does do-it-yourself kits, cabinet kits for building your own multicades using whatever you want: Raspberry Pis, Pandora boxes, PCs, like whatever your heart's desire. They unfortunately had to close up shop. There's a new owner now, but it's what you call it? It's still going to be the same people are all kind of like involved. And what's really cool is they're back in business now. So after they shut down, Game Room Solutions was kind of the only big option. There's some other smaller do it yourself like Tulsa Arcades. You can get some from Tulsa. But Rec Room Masters, I really like. I have a Rec Room Masters vertical extension cabinet here in my loft still. I'll never get rid of that thing. It's one of my favorite things to have. So just a reminder, guys, if you want to do it yourself, right now they're starting off. You could just buy the control panels if you want to build your own arcade around the control panel, do a pedestal stand, things like that. But they also have do it yourself arcade machines. I think they're just selling the 32-inch model right now. So this is the 32-inch extension cabinet. It's pretty expensive, guys. It's like $1,000 if you want to get the one, the one that's fully pimped out with, you'll get the whatchamacallit, track balls. You'll get the what else comes in this one? Trackball. You get more buttons, obviously, things like that. You'll have to go and look at all the different options, but this is if you want to do it yourself. They even have the cheaper options where, like, hey, if you just want to throw your tank stick in there, like if you own a tank stick, you're basically just buying the cabinet shell, the marquee, things like that. And there's additional options that you can add. So, what you call? Pat, can you shut the dog up? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get that off the screen there right now. So I'm happy to see them coming back. They were a great aftermarket DIY company. I just saw someone write in here that they're going to be staying in the RV. There you go, staying in the RV while you're there. Sorry about the dog, guys. JT loves his tank stick. Great controller. I like the dog. I like the dog's bark. It's very faint. Yeah, and of course that's their German Shepherd, the one that was pretty sick, and unfortunately, he was pretty sick. Had bad stomach problems. I think I thought he had ate grass in the backyard because out here in Arizona, I have to have the backyard sprayed yearly to make sure that because the grass will pop up in patches. Out here we just have rocks in our backyard. You don't want all this ugly grass or weeds popping through. And he usually eats that grass when it pops through, and the grass makes him sick. But like I told you guys on Super Game Room Dudes on Friday, he crapped all over my loft. His stomach was so messed up, and it was nasty, and it smelt really bad, and all that. And sure enough, I was out in the backyard straightening up, cleaning up the backyard, doing the typical thing, walk around, picking up dog poop and stuff. And I found a half-eaten carcass of a pigeon on the side of the house. So I think he actually ate that pigeon, and that's what made him sick for a couple of days. Ugh, gross. But hey, maybe one less flying rodent um, in the house. One less flying rodent in the house. There we go. What's wrong with Scruffy? Isn't that from Terminator 2? What's wrong with Wolfie? I hear him barking. Wolfie's fine, dear. He's fine. Your step parents are dead. Yeah, so there's a half-eaten pigeon in my backyard. Oh, gross. It was pretty gross to look at, guys. Okay, before we get to the Arcade1Up stuff, which we'll talk about here, I did pick up another pinball machine. Now, I've owned real pinball machines for years, so it's pretty cool to, add to the collection. I think I'm now up to 5, and I picked up one of my holy grail pinball machines. I kind of shared this on some of my social media. Oop, hit the wrong button here. And, when it comes to pinball machines, like all these newer ones from like Stern and stuff, like, yeah, they're really cool, but they're also super, super expensive, 5-figure pinball machines. I like finding the older stuff that, hopefully you can get cheaper, right? So I picked up Star Wars Episode 1. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I've always been a big fan of the Williams, what are these called? The Williams 20 machines, Star Wars Episode 1 and Revenge for Mars. I have to admit, I was slightly jealous when Console Kits he picked up both of these machines, but Justin and I are friends now. But I was more happy for him than jealous because these are two of my favorite games. Whenever I go to any barcade, if these games are there, I just really, really enjoy playing these games. Now, and I know a lot of people don't like these cabinets, right? And by the way, the cabinet looks small, and the only reason why it looks small is because the hutch or the hub, whatever you want to call it, that has the CRT mounted in it, facing downwards on the screen, is so massive. That hutch is so massive, this makes you think that this is a mini pinball machine, and this is not. Yes, it's a little bit shorter in length than a normal pinball machine, but not by much. Not by much. A few inches. But it's still a full-size pinball machine. It's not a toy pinball machine. It's just this hutch here is so big, it makes the machine look small in these like camera shots. I mean, take a look, guys. This is a full-size Defender cabinet right here. That's a real Defender cabinet, not an Arcade1Up. Obviously, this thing is pretty big. You know what I mean? Pretty big. So I'm super excited about picking this up. Now, I want to show you guys a couple things on this one. Let's get that off of the screen here because I want to make sure I get you. He does have the guy I bought it from here. He supplies a lot of arcade and pinball games. He's got like a warehouse that I went to pick it out. He's also the same guy that I bought. You guys remember my Night Moves pinball cocktail table? I did a video about that about 8 months ago. He's the same guy I bought that from. What you call it? He supplies all the machines. Like there's a new arcade bar that's going to be opening here in Arizona called Level One. Well, they have a location already, but they're opening another location that's even bigger. So in this warehouse right now, they had all the machines lined up that are going to be put inside that arcade bar. Like they're the ones who are supplying all the machines to them. And oh my god, guys, they had so many, and they were all like, because this is a brand new arcade bar here in Arizona, Level One, that they're opening. All the machines were in pristine condition, ready to go. Like stay at like a Smash TV cabinet there that was just so sexy. You know what I mean? All that stuff. But he also did have a Revenge for Mars sitting right next to the Star Wars. You'll notice right here, you got the Star Wars machine right there. But he also has a Revenge for Mars. It's a little bit dirty, but that's because it's been sitting in a warehouse, so it's a little bit dusty. He actually has a buyer lined up for that. Otherwise I would have picked up both because I love Revenge for Mars. I know some of you love Attack from Mars, but for some reason, I have more fun playing Revenge from Mars than I do Attack from Mars. And Attack from Mars is a great pinball game. And some people hate Revenge from Mars. I really enjoy playing it. I think it's super, super fun. So, but he told me if that buyer falls through, he'll let me know if this one becomes available. So I got lucky that I got the Star Wars one. And I got some more pictures here to show you. Now, there were a couple problems with the machine, as you can expect whenever things are used. One of the main components of this machine, one of the coolest features on this machine, is the lightsaber on the playfield. And you notice that the machine is turned on, but the lightsaber wasn't working. Good news is they've already fixed that for me. I don't have the machine yet, by the way, guys. The machine is going to be delivered, I believe, by the end of this week. I might have it Friday or Saturday. So what's really cool about this guy is he sells the machines and, but he also does all the work for you. So the lightsaber light tube here, what is that called? It starts with a T. I forget what that's called. The lightsaber thing needed replaced. He replaced that. The right flipper wasn't working. He fixed that. The monitor needed a slight adjustment. He fixed that already. He put all new, by the time I get the machine, all new rubbers will be on the machine, clean off the play field, clean up the machine. The whole machine's going to be serviced basically, which is really, really cool. So, for the price I paid, it's really nice that, they're doing all that stuff. So the good news is by the time I get it, everything will be working. Everything will be working and it'll be almost as if it's brand new. But I figure you guys might get a kick out of that. Hang on a second here. Let me see. Uh, let's just go here. Yeah. So if you've never, have you guys played this machine before and how the lightsaber lights up and it does all these things? Oh my God, this pinball machine also is super loud. It's super loud. It's super exciting. And of course, the machine does the lightsaber does all kinds of light effects and things like that. I am reading all the comments in the live chat, guys. You guys are super, super nice. All right. And also take a look at the CRT. They adjusted it while I was there because it needed an adjustment. So here's obviously the reflection of the CRT on the playfield. The CRT is obviously right here. It's kind of hard to see. The CRT is right here. And obviously it's angled down to reflect off the screen. So when you stand in front of this machine, and this is what always fascinated me about this machine is, this reflection comes down and, you know, it's interactive, right? Like this thing doesn't need a DMD or a second screen. Like this is your screen. And what's really cool is with the reflection there, you think that's the actual monitor, right? But what's really cool is all the stuff behind here, like all the little spot targets and things you hit. And if you hit those, it interacts with whatever is on the screen. And it's so cool. It's so cool to me. Now I know these machines obviously for some reason Williams went out of business right after this one and Revenge from Mars were released, but I think it's cool. And maybe people back then didn't think it was cool. I think it's awesome. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome. So yeah. There you go. So let's go. There's the lightsaber. So yeah, the CRT now is in great shape, and obviously I got some pictures here showing that the play field is in pretty good condition. We just need to, it just needs cleaned up, waxed, new rubbers, things like that. So that all looks really, really cool. Oh man, isn't this a beautiful table, guys? Like, even though the movie isn't that great, even though the movie isn't that great, whatchamacallit, episode one, it's probably one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. The pinball game and the design of this pinball machine are pretty cool. Pretty cool. And look, we even got our Jar Jar toy on there. There you go. You got your Jar Jar toy. So yeah, pretty cool table. If you guys if you guys ever are at an arcade bar and if you've never played these machines, give them a shot. Give them a shot. Like here's the targets, right? So like when you hit this target, whatever you hit, everything happens on the screen. Here's the other spot target, and everything happens on the screen. It changes the video that's playing on the screen. It's so cool. It's like interactive pinball. I think it was ahead of its time. Maybe people weren't ready for it. 360 says he would love to own Revenge from Mars. Put it in a bar. There you go. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And of course, something like this, guys, average retail on this pinball machine is about 3,500 bucks if you do your research, like on Pinside. So like these are great pinball machines that are not, yeah, they're expensive. Don't get me wrong. But I would rather spend 3,500 on this, something that really fascinates me than hey, I'm just going to drop 15 grand on the next Stern. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend that much money on pinball. I like spending like, 0 to $5,000 on a pinball machine, and what's the best machine I can get for that? You know what I mean? That's probably why I'll never own an Elvira Scared Stiff, because the average retail on those, it's like 10 to 12,000. Isn't that crazy for an Elvira Scared Stiff? But I would love to own one. So yeah, oh yeah, and then the on the marquee, one other thing here, I'll show you guys real quick and then we'll get off this topic. On the marquee, you'll notice the machine's lit up, but you'll notice the marquee's not lit up. It needed a new light bulb, so they replaced the light bulb in there for me as well. So I'm hoping that they'll have it all cleaned up, shopped, and delivered to me by the end of the week. And I'm gonna be super excited about it, man. Super, super excited about it. There you go. No, I did not Bazooka Joe. We're gonna talk about that stupid stuff from Arcade1Up. Let's see here. When it's delivered and all lit up, can you post a video? Yeah, I'll probably do like one of those, like I did with the last couple of pinball, the Big Top Pinball, the Night Moves Pinball. I'll do a quick video, like, pinball pickup. Come check it out. I'll make a video like that kind of thing. Yeah, like honestly, like those kind of machine, like there are so many great pinball. Like, what's funny too? I was watching Captain's Auctions Warehouse, and they had a big another pinball arcade auction over the weekend. I was just watching it while I was working in the office here, and I was watching, seeing what things were going for, and it's crazy that you know so many people are so fixated on the new Stern style pinball, but I think they almost forget how incredible some pinball games were made, like in the '90s by like Bally. There are so many great '90s Bally pinball games. There were so many great Data East games in the '90s. There were Sega tables in the '90s, like great, awesome tables that, you know, if you're lucky, you could get those for 0 to, 10,000. You don't have to spend five figures, and you'll have a great table that plays awesome. A lot of the Bally ones, I think, had alphanumeric displays, and then they in the '80s, and then they switched to DMDs in the '90s. So you're still going to get some of that stuff. Are you going to get that little, multiple LCD screens? No, you're not. But that doesn't make it any less of a great pinball game, in my opinion. Which is funny too, because someone just posted. The guys showed me there was a picture posted on Twitter of the new Godfather. No, not Godfather. Is it Pulp Fiction? I think it's the new Pulp Fiction table that's coming out by American Pinball, and they want over 10,000 for it. And they went back to they just have alphanumeric displays on that pinball machine. There's no DMD, there's no secondary LCD screen, animated backglass, active backglass, none of that stuff. It's just four alphanumeric displays, just like think of like Haunted House, the pinball game. You know what I mean? Just four alphanumeric displays. Which is kind of weird because you're spending just as much as like a Stern machine that has all that crap, but you're not getting that stuff. All right, good stuff. Jaster, $5. Thanks for the Ridge Racer Buy Stuff Arcades mod walkthrough. I would have been too intimidated to get it without it. Yeah, thanks so much, man. So I finally got the firmware updated. I'm on the latest firmware. I'm on the firmware that the Buy Stuff guys tell me is going to be the firmware for a while. The only other time they told me that they're going to update the firmware again is to add support to use a BitPixel HV on top of that Ridge Racer cabinet, or hell, even with your Outrun cabinet. That way you could have an animated marquee every time you cycle the game. So, like, whatever game you're playing, there'll be a marquee there. But that's not going to happen for several months. So now that they're done updating it and it's officially no longer a beta, now I can make some content and say, hey, here's the Android box. Here's what games I think work great. Here's what games that don't. I've been honest with everybody. Hey man, a lot of the games work great. There's some games on there, and that's the curse of multicades, right? When you don't have dedicated, optimized controls that are made specifically for specific games to run on specific hardware, specific emulators, all that stuff. that's the curse of multicades. Although I love multicades, when you throw 100 games on a single box, not every game is going to run perfect. Not every game will. It won't. But hell, if like 75, 80 games run great, I still think that's pretty cool. I still think that's pretty cool. All right, good stuff there, guys. Good stuff. Yep, might be my favorite topper ever from Charlie Chuck. What's up? A-Tran Fanatic. Buy stuff is amazing. Their risers are worth every penny. Pulp Fiction does not interest me. Yeah, I'm not interested in that Pulp Fiction table. Um, all right. That Popeye pinball, the one that got away. Yeah, I don't know how many people were here for that, but I did a live stream where we were live streaming the Captain's Auctions pinball. And oh my God, I should have bid on that Popeye pinball. I could have got it too. I could have got that. And that Popeye pinball table was in incredible, incredible shape. It would have been great. Now they did have last night when I was watching, like I was logged in to bid. And I only bid on a couple of machines, but have you guys ever heard of the Lost World pinball game? Are you guys familiar with the Lost World pinball game? Let me see if I can find it. Now that you mention it. And don't worry, we'll get to that Arcade1Up stuff in a minute here, guys. I know you guys really want to talk about that. Lost World pinball. Let's see if we can find it. Bailey's Lost World pinball. Are you guys familiar with it? Let's go images. Nope, not that one. Open image. All right, let's try and share this screen. All right, so here's Bailey's Lost World pinball. So they had one of these up last night, guys. This thing in the auction only sold for 2,100. 2,100. Someone bid and won this, and I could have easily snuck in there and maybe like the most I would pay for this one is 2,500. This particular game, but this is another fun game that I've played at an arcade bar before. And yeah, it's, like I said, it's the older 80s Bailey with the alphanumeric displays, but it's a super fun game. It's fast paced, it's fun. It's a fun pinball game, great sound, great music, great special effects. This thing only went for 2,100. And man, if I just went in there and bid like 22, 2,300, I probably would have bought it. But I was really trying hard. I was like, let's not buy something just to buy something when something I already bought hasn't even been delivered yet. That kind of thing. But like, yeah, this is a great pinball game for 2,000 bucks. Like, yeah, it's an expensive hobby, guys, but there's great games out there that you could get some good deals on. You know what I mean? There you go. Good stuff. Yes. Well, I'm not just talking auction. I'm not just talking auction rainwater. I'm also talking you can just pick up stuff, Facebook Marketplace, offer up things like that. There's a guy here in Arizona who just sold the Dungeons and Dragons pinball game. He had it up for order. Um, I reached out to him. He posted the ad on OfferUp, and no, he posted it on Facebook. And when I reached out to him to say, "Hey, I'm interested in the Dungeons and Dragons pinball game," and I think he only sold it for like 3,500, which is what that pinball machine goes for if you check average prices on like Pinside. I reached out, he's like, "You got 3 guys ahead of you. If they bail out, I'll let you know." And of course, one of them picked it up. But that would have been another great table to get for less than 5 grand. Here, I'll show you that real quick, and then we'll get off this topic. Dungeons and Dragons pinball. I don't know if you guys remember this table, but this is an awesome, awesome table. Let me open this. I don't know how good it's gonna look, but there's the Dungeons and Dragons pinball. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this game. This one's got a very hard ramp on the left. It's very difficult to get your ball up the ramp. Like you have to hit it just at the right angle to get all the way up there and unlock this stuff. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons pinball, and this would have just been beautiful. Like hell, in my office here with all the fantasy themed stuff that I have. But yeah, this is a great game. That's another great game. Look at that. You got alphanumeric displays, but still the music, the sound effects, the table layout, everything else is really, really cool. All right, let's get off that topic. Let's catch up on the live chat, guys, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some arcade one up stuff here. The theme of this episode is the big oops. Arcade one up committed a big oops in the last few days, and we're going to talk about that. Papa Brad says there's a Popeye pinball at Wayback's Arcade for $4,000. You better pick that table up, man. As long as it's in good working order. Um, and this is where I'm at. I would rather have retro pinballs, a whole bunch of them, versus just a couple of Sterns. You know, you could get multiple tables versus just one. But that's just me. That's just me. To each his own. No, I did not get that email, which we'll talk about. I just went to Starfighters Arcade. So Starfighters Arcade out in Mesa. You guys know YouTuber Biggie D, aka Daniel. Daniel and I are friends because we both live around here. Him and I hung out. We went to Starfighters together. We had a blast. And when we were there, he's like, Are we gonna do any videos? You want to do any videos?" And I told him, I said, "Hey Biggie," I said, "You know what? Not everything needs to be on YouTube. It's just guys hanging out, man. We don't have to put our entire lives on YouTube." And we were at Starfighters for shit, like nearly 3 hours playing pinball and arcade games. Had a blast, not having to worry about cameras and taking pictures and all that shit. Just hanging out playing games, man. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. Not everything needs to be on the internet. All right, there you go. All right, good stuff, guys. All right, let's talk about this. So, how many of you are aware of what happened? Let's just say that. If you're aware of what happened already, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not aware, have no idea what I'm about to talk about, put a 0 in the live chat. This has been information news that has been trending a little bit in those home arcade space. Correct. I did not get the email. I did not get the email. Okay, look at the ones coming in. We got some ones. Mad Astra put a 7. Okay, some people don't know. All right. Good stuff. Okay. All right. So let me find the stuff here. Because this is just silly stuff in my opinion. All right. Let's pull this up here. So the Rexer show. If you guys are familiar with the Rexer show, he did a stream the other day, and maybe 2 nights ago. I can't remember. Yeah, Glenn's retro show on, Kev Gret on, and they were talking about the fact that Rex apparently received or got hold of this email campaign offer from Arcade1Up. Hi, we're Arcade1Up. We're looking for influencers to collaborate with to show off our products. So basically, this is so far pretty standard stuff. I get this kind of stuff all the time. Thanks to you guys and the support of you guys, what happens is I have companies, and a lot of it is like kind of like the AliExpress, companies from overseas. They email my email and they're like, "Hey, like your channel. Would love for you to review our gaming monitor. Here's what we require of you if we send you a free product." And it'll have a list. And so what this Arcade One Up marketing campaign is very similar to some of the stuff I've seen from like a lot of AliExpress type companies from overseas. And 9 times out of 10, that stuff all just gets deleted out of my email, and I never review those. You guys never see reviews for those products and things like that because they usually put some pretty stupid demands on there, which are very similar to what got put in this Arcade One Up thing. So, they have this whole thing, here's what you need. Here's what you need to do. You need to make this personal. You need to make a video, blah blah blah, showcase the product in the first 3 seconds. A lot of this stuff is pretty common when they're like, "Hey man, you need to do this if we're going to send you a product. This is what we're hoping you do for us by filming this thing," right? Mention Arcade One Up. Make sure you add it in the hashtags. That way it shows up in search algorithms, all that stuff. So far, so good. Like, this is all the same stuff that every company out there has done, right? This stuff right here. Now, here's your do's. Now, here's your don'ts. Avoid wearing apparel with any visible logos, blah, blah, blah. By the way, my friend Michael B made a video about this. I'm going to have a little bit of different commentary than him when we get more towards the next slide. So just a heads up there. No profanities, no swear words, things like that. So here's what's interesting, right? Avoid mentioning or comparing to other brands if you do be respectful. I get that bullet point, but I don't get that bullet point. What they're doing is they sent this out to apparently large channels, or I don't know, YouTube channels, TikTok channels, Instagram channels, whatever it is, whatever social media platform they sent this out to, channels that have a very large presence that they want to get in the door and get access to. And they're like, "Hey, if you do these things, we'll send you these deluxe Arcade1Up cabinets that are about to be, put up for pre-order very, very soon. And these are the things we want. These are the things we don't, in order for you to get your free product for the purpose of review." The whole comparison thing, like, sometimes it's a good thing to compare a product to a competitor product in a product review. There's nothing wrong with that. I say that all the time in a lot of my videos. Like, I would rather use this than this, or there's better options out there. But it's not a horrible don't. This one right here, do not speak about the time spent building the arcade. Use at least 5 of the talking points. What does that mean? Do not speak about the time spent building the arcade? That's a huge part of a lot of reviews for like brand new people. Like, okay, if I buy your thing and I have to assemble it like a piece of IKEA furniture, how long is it going to take me to take? We all know this, right? We've all been doing this for a long time. We all know it could take you 30 minutes, it could take you 3 hours. It kind of depends on you, how fast you move. Some people take breaks, some people are older, they assemble slower. Me, if I'm using, a screwdriver, usually an hour. If I, try to do the power drill thing, which I hate doing on these cabinets because I'm so worried I'm gonna break the cheap wood. 30, 45 minutes, I might shave off a little bit of time using that versus, hand tightening everything. Do not add text, logos, GIFs, stickers to the video, stuff like that. That's a lot of stuff that probably has to do with like all these obnoxious like TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, Instagram shorts, where they have all the little things popping up while you're trying to watch this 15-second video, blah, blah, blah. It's just a guide, right? And then they gave them some talking points. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with a company giving people talking points because they're trying to highlight to you, the reviewer, these are the things that we feel is really good about our product and would love for you guys to show it off, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I've reviewed plenty of products where bullet points were given like, "Hey man, these are the things that we're really proud of about our product." There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. The whole thing kind of falls apart about, some of this gets a little bit of a gray area, but then here's a whole bunch of the bullet points. I guess there were several pages of bullet points. They're just giving you a guide to help you, especially the people who I think they targeted with this campaign are not people who probably have ever owned an Arcade1Up before. They probably have no idea what this company is, who they are, what they're all about, what their products are. So they're giving them some education. Like, we all know that stuff. And for the 100th time, I did not receive this email. But this is where it completely they shoot themselves in the foot. And this is the thing that really, got Rex fired up, and it's disappointing. And I totally I get where he's coming from because here's what it is. If you accept the offer to review our product, once you receive your product, make your video, but it's called a draft. And then after it's called a draft, submit your content for approval. Once you receive the green light, you can publish your video content. Now, that is a big no. This is where I told you where I said a lot of these AliExpress type spam emails that I get where they're like, review our monitor, review our controller, review our Raspberry Pi case. A lot of times they put this crap in here. And if this is something I would never do, every single review I've done on this channel, I have never once let the company see it before it was posted. No, typically, this is not something that a lot of YouTube content creators do, right? How that works on other platforms, I don't know. Now, I've gotten plenty of products for review where the company never gave even asked. And those are the ones I would say yes to, and I would review the product. I've had companies like iArcade, At Games, New Wave Toys, Fun Stock, Limited Run Games. And you know what happens, guys, when they send me a note? They say, we'd like to send you the product for review. Here's a couple talking points of things we're excited about. And we hope you like the product. Here's your tracking number. That's it. We hope you like the product. That's it. No obligation, no strings attached. Campaigns like this are ones that YouTubers who don't want to be involved in anything kind of sketchy, or who basically, they want to film reviews, not commercials. Like if you have to submit it to them for approval and then they have the right to come back to you and say, "We don't like what you said there. You need to change that." No, no, no. You said we don't like what you did there. You have to change that. Hey, you gave us a bad review. You need to make it a good review. Stuff like that just doesn't fly. Doesn't fly here. Doesn't fly with many of the guys who I collaborate with. As far as I know, and I only guys, as you know, I'm only friends with like 4 or 5 guys who do this. 5, no, maybe 6. Um, None of them receive this. None of them receive this. I have no idea where this came from. My assumption is this is targeting really big channels that have maybe millions of subscribers or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. This really isn't a campaign for, someone like me, that kind of thing. But either way, you know, this is a hot mess. This isn't a good look for them at all. That they put this in here. Like Arcade1Up should know better. Like, hey man, we want people to be genuinely like tell us honestly if you like the product. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's basically my thoughts on this whole mess. Like, I can't tell you guys. I don't do like a lot of the big dramatic fire and brimstone type content. Like, I call things like it is. Sometimes I swear, say something's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I try to toe the line a little bit. So you're not going to get that kind of reaction from me. What I can tell you is whoever at Arcade One Up signed off on this campaign is an idiot, a total idiot. Never should have agreed to this campaign. This should have been removed from the campaign. Everything was fine. There's a couple things that are like a little bit gray, but that final thing here is sketchy. Because sure enough, once this came out, once this trended, I have to admit, guys, I was a little sad to see, I look at these Facebook groups and stuff, sad to see what people would say in comments about YouTubers, such as myself and others who volunteer our time to, do this stuff. And yeah, we get compensated via YouTube ad revenue, but guys, it is not something to quit your day job over. We are not channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers with huge amounts of revenue. Like you look at guys like, I don't know if you guys are familiar, Tim the Tatman. That guy makes on just one channel, and keep in mind he's got 4. He clears over $30,000 a month in ad revenue. But in order to do that, he has to have 4 million subscribers on his channel. A guy like me, we might clear $500 a month. You know, Best month I ever had was 1,000, and that's it. Like, I can't quit my day job. I can't, do any of that stuff and live off that kind of money. That would be ridiculous, especially someone like me who's a type 1 diabetic who needs full-time work, benefits, all that kinds of things. And also, the niche that I cover is a very small niche, guys. It's a very small niche. If I only ever covered this stuff moving forward, I will never hit 100,000 subscribers. I'll probably never hit 50,000 subscribers. I'm very, very lucky that I'm at 16, close to 17,000 subscribers. But I've worked really hard to get there because I don't buy views. I don't buy subscribers. Everything here I try to do on the straight up and up. And, you know, it's just sad that when shit like this happens, everyone else automatically accusations are thrown. And what that tells me is the people who would think that people like me or Michael B would accept some crap like this just to get a free arcade cabinet. It's kind of insulting and also sad because I've said no to this kind of offer dozens of times, especially from a lot. If you guys are out there and if you have a YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about. You get all these emails from these AliExpress type companies. And if you actually read them, read their campaigns, if they read similar to this, trash it, trash it. So there you go. Michael B would not. That would not. Michael B would not. Michael B would not. Michael B's a good guy. I like Michael B. All right. There you guys go. So that's kind of like my whole thought process on it. Like, I'm not going to do the whole fire and brimstone thing. I think this is completely stupid by Arcade1Up. And you know what? It's almost getting to the point where I pity this company because no matter what they do, something gets screwed up. Think about it, guys. Over the last 12 months, every time they've tried to do something, something has gone wrong. And there's been all this drama and backlash amongst the community. And it's almost to the point now where you pity them. Like, before I'd be like, yeah, they're stupid or they're not doing the right thing. And now it's almost like you're like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. That kind of thing, if that makes sense. There you go. Anyway, guys, so that's what I think. Just so you guys, I never received this. They would never send it to me. And also, even if it was sent to me, I would never accept it. So there you go. Hopefully, my name is not mud. Really sad though, seeing some of the commentary out there. But hey, man, not everyone is going to like you. That's another thing that people need to understand. If you're going to put yourself out there in social media in front of a camera, not everybody is going to like you. So you got to make sure you develop, thicker skin. It's taken me a long time to get numb to things, and I feel like I'm getting there now. Like, someone people can make troll videos about me or things like that, and I try to bounce it off me, man. Try to bounce it off me. People can insult me in public forums, try to let it bounce off me and stuff like that. But it's still, sometimes it's kind of sad to see, that people don't trust you, which is sad. Because I honestly don't think anyone here is doing anything malicious. You know what I mean? When it comes to all the content creators in this space, like I don't think anyone is doing anything malicious. Um, I think there's a lot of people who are opportunists. I think I'm one for sure. Like if I can get a video out or get an exclusive on something to make sure that the video does well, like I would love to get that information. You know what I mean? Why do you think I did the Fast and the Furious leak? I knew it would get clicks. I knew it would get clicks. When that guy emailed it to me, I was like, shit, I'll make it a video. This is going to get some clicks. I mean, there's opportunists out there. I'm an opportunist, but I don't think anyone in this space is truly doing anything malicious. So, some of us are just, greedy for attention, I suppose. So, yeah, there you go. All right. So, guys, what do you think about all that? While your thoughts are coming in, I'll get to this one. $5 from Octoman. I think Arcade1Up's issue is the suits behind the scenes, only caring about the bottom dollar. Yes, everyone needs to remember that. This company is here to make money. This company is not here to be your friend. This company is not here to be your buddy. This company is not here to do anything but sell you something and make money off of that something. So don't forget that, guys. Don't forget that. Arcades are a niche audience. I agree. David says everyone should be an equal opportunity offender. Everyone wins. Are you talking about me, Paul? Who are you talking about? Oh, this? Yeah, I don't do this. I don't do this. Yeah, you're not talking about me. Sorry. Um every company's bottom line is to make money. Thanks. Well, I mean, I figured I would at least bring it up to say, "Hey man, Arcade1Up if they want to, do campaigns like this, that's fine. Every company does it. Just, change some of your requirements. You got to delete a couple of those bullet points if you know what I'm saying. Especially the one about we want to review your review before it's posted. Maybe you'll find some desperate TikTokers, Instagram people, maybe some desperate YouTube people who are willing to agree to that, but for the most part, The guys who I collaborate with and work with in this space, I think most of them would reject this completely, especially the whole review the review before it's posted thing. That's the red flag. That's when you shouldn't do it. Because then at that point, you're just filming a commercial. You're not making a review, you're filming a commercial. But you have to say that, if you take away the fire and brimstone, you know what I mean? Like because if that's one thing Rex does well is the fire and brimstone and the anger and things like that. If you take away the fire and brimstone, and some of the things he said were a bit hurtful to others, some of the things that I didn't really take anything that he said as directed towards me, but still some of the things he said were probably crossing the line. Just if you take away all that crap, you have to admit he did raise awareness on something that's pretty important. Pretty important. I mean, kudos to him for that. It's just I can do this kind of stuff without doing the whole the sky is falling. Does that make sense? These are just video games, guys. They're video games, but they're expensive. They're expensive. So there you go. There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Travis is here. Travis, I have a question for you because I must have missed something in the live chat. Will you guys talk about this on your next one update show with David from Arcade1Up? I would love to know that. I think it's something that needs to be addressed. Oh, he did. All right, I found it. I had to scroll up. Campaign was poorly worded. I agree with you. Dubs will be addressed tomorrow. There you guys go. Boom. Will, I can't put that comment on screen. Thanks so much. Anyway, guys, so just a heads up. I think this sucks. It's bad for Arcade1Up. It's at the point where I just pity them for all the crap that happens. And a lot of it, let's be honest, they bring on themselves. They make bad marketing decisions, bad product decisions when it comes to some of the ways these products are made and built. And for the price they charge per arcade cabinet, they need to do better. They need to do better. You can blame people for bringing this up. You can blame people for, making things very what's the word? You know, high alert, everyone be on alert type status. But bottom line is if they didn't do this, then this stuff wouldn't be there'd be no awareness of this. You know what I mean? They shouldn't be doing this. So hopefully they'll remove that and move forward and all that kinds of stuff. And just as a reminder, guys, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I've never, ever, ever received a product from Arcade1Up for the purpose of making a review. Just a heads up there. I have received plenty of products from other companies, but the only products that I have reviewed on this channel are products where they said, like your channel, we're interested in sending you this product. Here's some of the cool things about it, and hope you enjoy the product. Here's your tracking number. That's it. I've never once sent a review to be reviewed before it's posted. Hope that makes sense. I mean, for example, the Space Invaders gold cabinet here. Just give you guys remember I reviewed it. I only gave it like a 7 out of 10. I'm sure Jong and IRK, they were a little sad about the fact that I didn't give it a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10. But I thought I provided them great feedback. Like, here's ways you could make the product better. That's the kind of stuff that everyone should be doing. And keep in mind, we've all made mistakes, myself included. I've screwed up stuff in reviews too. I've called things the wrong word and stuff like that. But just give you an example. Anyway, guys, I'll be very interested to tune into the next one update show to see if they'll address this. Travis says they will, and then also we'll find out what's going on with all these deluxe cabinets. So there you go. Anyway, my dudes, do me a favor. I have to go. I'm out of time. Michael B is going to start now. I don't have a live redirect set up because by the time I went live, he still didn't have his show set up. But I know he's doing a show tonight. So if you guys want to hop on over, just click off and head over, go watch my good friend Michael B, the Game Genie. Check out his show tonight. I have no idea what it's about. All I know is it wasn't set up when I went live. Otherwise, I would have automatically redirected you over there. But if you enjoyed this, do me a favor, guys. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or don't subscribe. It's totally up to you. No obligation. And also, when I get this Star Wars cabinet later this week, hopefully you guys will join me to look at it. And then now that I'm on the right firmware, I'll get that Ridge Racer video done. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And don't forget, guys, it's Monday. Go play your multicades. You guys have a great night. Tell Michael B I said hi.